for this roster, seeming very, very strong on FURIA. Once again, one of the best Chalet teams in the world, but low score, not that far behind. Bringing the energy to W7M should be a treat.
I think theoretically, Chalet is a map that always will
want control of that mid-level. That's Loben's entire existence inside of this round, actually, as he will be piloting the Ram. So W7M now have to try and find a solution to this problem.
They do. They have to make sure that even if Loben gets control of main lobby, which, to be fair, with the Ram you can easily do, well, it might not even matter. Dots is immediately sent it into the breach, and FURIA have completely shut W7M out of the round. JV92, good for 2, in fact. 2 different players from W7M trying to walk up the blue hallway and actually have full control of blue, oddly enough, and well, the only kill right now going W7M's way is KZ doming Nade in the back of the head. Might be 2 players down on the floor, but it's pretty much as close to a flawless round.
Especially awesome for clutch moments like this, Carter, where you can try and use that extra info to see exactly where the positioning of these FURIA members are. Things like KZ over on blue aren't going to be such an issue to try and deal with any longer. You can kind of understand what they're going for.
If you're able to hack some of that utility, and also just make it that when Volps takes this gunfight, you don't have to worry about being blinded, well, it is in theory a lot easier, but I mean, if KZ just sends bullets right into your face, you've lost sight and any impact in this round. A 3K for KZ in round 2.
Not try and play spoils into a plant for Dots.
You can see the adjustment is just to try to hit the lurk up west main. Volp's going for the rotation, dash on trophy window, and it's working out beautifully so far. They've got a 5v3. Dodes might fall, but W7M still with an advantage and good pressure onto the site. Only downside is because they've never dealt with this top floor, still have Philippox in a position to deny, but mistakes being made by W7M. Loben finds Dots, but it doesn't erase their advantage completely. Volps and Dash still doing quite a lot of work in this mid-round to keep W7M in the race. Nade and Philippox are still up above, and they find Volps putting this diffuser down. Is he planting in kitchen? Is he planting in dining? No, it is kitchen, and Philippox spots him right as the case is completed. Counter diffuse now initiated, and W7M holding their positions. Nade and Philippox have to go for the retake. W7M know they're upstairs. They know they have to go down through one of these stairwells or through the singular hatch in the bomb site. And there's so little ground for FURIA to recover. They have to bring the fight to these players, and it's actually a 1v1. Nade's found Loben, and Nade knows he's inside a trophy, because that's where the Tuberau just died, spots him as well, goes for the quick peek. 3 seconds remaining before that case is beyond recoverable! Dash plays it a little too loose, but gets the kill required. Even though...
JV. He's got one of the exothermics off. So smart, Carter. What he's doing there, I might be able to win out that fight. It was giving him a little bit of breathing room, but unfortunately enough for over here on the Solarium side. Verticality getting added, and I'm really surprised Nade did not try to move from that position as he was getting sussed out from the skeleton key, but finally, it's going to be the flank from Philippox. They'll be able to take down one, but he really needs to follow up here. Hurt's trying to help KZ too, and it's going to be...
On these defenses, W7M can really punish you for making those even small mistakes or assumptions, and as we start... It's not necessarily an offside player that sees the most action. Knots down inside of the site on the Maestro, but it's Dodes to follow up with the first pick. It's still FURIA with the advantage. Herds gets 2 big kills, now 3 overall for the team, trying to flood all the way into Solar and Bathroom, and they've done so successfully. Dodes fights back for just a little bit, but the control is firmly in FURIA's hands. They have the entry onto that middle floor. Sure, Dodes is fighting back, but surely he's dealt with at some point, right? He's finally downed after that flashbang. Do they know about Loben? He's revealed his position with that T5 spray through the wall, so they know he's somewhere around Piano in the A site. KZ even quick peeks and spots him from the bathroom. The Buck is very low HP. Loben reacts in time or gets the right gunfight. He might down that Buck entirely. And on the pre-fire! Anticipates the flash, gets ahead of it. A brilliant 1 HP. These players, or specifically Volps, will they take the time to do it? JV92 pre-firing. They aren't finding this intel. Volps is still around the corner. Now JV92 is aware, and Herds goes for the swing on the opposite side. 3v2 now. Still FURIA regaining momentum incrementally.
Unless W7M does something just way too risky here, this is most definitely their round. FURIA don't have hatch control. There's some verticality, but it doesn't really have any presence over the top of this dining area. Dash and Dots in tow with each other. FURIA have to try and not only get probably at least 2 kills here, but also a plant down, all with 30 seconds remaining. A lot to ask, especially when the defense knows where you're coming from. I'm trying to go for it anyways. Dots will be the first, and Dodez will be the second to get a kill here to end things off for W7M as they will regather the lead. Wolves is trying to run for the hills after being found out by that EE1D. It's going to be Dots to fall from the window angle to JV92 as a follow-up.
And by the way, earlier when I was talking about how FURIA players have a
No
lot...
way,
Logan!
What is that?
I'm trying to get all analytical and philosophical, but Loban's like, oh, are there 2 players sitting outside library single? Those are freebies for me. I'll take those and retain library control for the remainder of this round. Is what are Herds and JV92 to do. They have control of the stairs, that much is true. And Herds spots one peeking the piano double door, but both attacking players are now on lower HP. JV92 vaults in the single window, goes to retake that momentum, finds Volt swinging, and gets intel on the remaining player Mez. FURIA being chipped down, whittled down on this HP. Dodez goes for the finisher, and Herds is dropped. He can't get the trade. He's inside of the site. Diffuser outside of library, and on 1 HP, he's been spotted on the library default. He didn't shoot it earlier. That intel now comes back to bite him. Match point for W7M.
We'd seen previously not as dominant, especially with a few of the high-flying antics that W7M have been able to produce. FURIA, they're just not playing things to the limit right now, and W7M are more than pushing this red line. Oh my God!
Look at the hop in through office balcony window. Remember how I was talking about tendencies? This is a rush FURIA have gone for plenty of times. Have someone outside the piano window. Have someone hop in office balcony when the EE1D goes off. This is an attack they've done so many times before, and W7M are ready for it. They have multiple players watching that window. Finish him off with the impact. W7M have counter-stratted FURIA. They've read the game plan. They know how these attacks look. Almost better than FURIA even do. Elapox might find one. KZ follows up with the second. As we calm down a little bit, and the mid-round slows to a crawl. There's time for FURIA on these drones to gather a bit of remaining intel, Sam. They'll do a little bit of damage to Volps as well. Force him to back off. Look at these players on the top floor. They know they need to start getting aggressive. Intel on their position. We'll hold for just a moment.
Let's not get the cart before the horse, as you said. Anything could happen. Dance, a risky bit there. Volps will be able to decapitate KZ, though. It's down to Fleepox in a 1 versus 3. One of the stars of SI will take a dirt nap. As Volps and W7M will take it away from FURIA here on Chalet.
New roster might not matter for W7M. This org's dominance on Chalet is famous. And yet somehow in regulation, not even a 7-5